Okay, so between the video and what you're going to do on your own, you're going to be working on pages 5 through 8 and questions 1, 2, 3, and 7. We're going to do 1 and 2 together, and then you'll have to do questions 3 and 7 on your own. So when you have a two-way table, if they don't give you the totals, you need to fill in your totals. But here they gave us our totals, so we're all set. First question, we want to know if student is a male and student prefers reality series if they're independent. Our independence formula, we do probability of A times probability of B, and we need to know, is it equal to the probability of A and B? So student is male, so we need to find a box that the only thing that represents is male. Well, this box here, the only thing that represents is male. So we'll have 230 over the 490 total. Times we have student prefers reality series. So we need a box that only represents reality series. That would be this 180 over the 490 total. And we need to know, is it equal to the probability of both those happening at the same time? So we need to find a box that is male and reality series at the same time. And that would be those 70. So we got 70 over 490. So we'll punch all these in. On the right side, when we punch that in, it gives us 1/7. And when we punch in the left side, we get 414 over 2401, which those are not equal. If they are equal, that's when they're independent. Because they're not equal, we would say they are dependent. So you need to show the last two fractions showing whether they are equal or not. Next one, what's the probability that someone prefers drama given that they are female? Whenever you have a given, that tells you the row or column to focus on. So given they are female means we're going to look at just the female row. So using only numbers from that row, we're now going to see the probability of a drama series. Well, drama would be 70 out of 260. Find the probability that someone selected is male or prefers comedy. So for this, we have to use our OR formula. The OR formula is the probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B. So of those, one of those you'll be trying to find. We want to find the OR in this case. So we call whichever one we want to find X. Probability of being male will have be thing A. So male we had from the first question was 230 over 490. Plus preferring comedy. So we need to find a box that only represents comedy. That would be this 175 over 490. And then minus, we're looking for a box that is male and comedy at the same time. So here's male, here's comedy, so 95 is a box that is both at the same time. So 95 over 490. Now, sometimes you might have to rearrange to get x by itself, but in this case, the x is already alone, so we can just punch in each of those fractions. And when you punch it in, it reduces to 31 over 49. So that's the probability that the person selected will be male or comedy. Anytime you have an or in the question, you will need to use the or formula, whether it's something that's given to you or it's something that you're trying to find. What's the probability that someone is male given they prefer drama? So anytime you have the given, that's what you focus on. So given they prefer drama, we're going to focus on only the drama column. So focusing only on that column, we're looking for the probability they're male. So only from this column, probability of being male would be 65 over 135. And remember, probability is one of the few things where you don't have to reduce. You can just leave it in exact form, and that's fine. And find the probability that someone is female and prefers a reality series. When it's an and, we're just looking for the crisscross. So female and reality series. Here's female, here's reality series. So we got 110 over 490. Ands, ors, and individual probabilities are always out of the overall total. If it has a given, or saying out of the blank, then you just focus on a row or column, and it won't be out of the overall total. So that was question 1 on page 5. We're going to go to question 2 now, and we'll do this one together, and then we'll leave question 3 and question 7 for you to do on your own. And again, these questions today are from pages 5 through 8 in the packet that was linked. Notice again, they gave us the totals. Sometimes they won't, so you'll have to find those totals. What's the probability the person is male and doesn't eat breakfast regularly? So if it's an and, just look for the crisscross. Here's male, doesn't eat breakfast regularly, so we got 130 over 595. Given that a person eats breakfast regularly, so we're focusing only on the eats breakfast regularly, what's the probability they are female? So using only numbers from that row, we have that there's 110 females out of 300 total in that row. What is the probability that a person is female or doesn't eat breakfast regularly? So we've got to use our OR formula. So the one that we used right here. Here's our OR formula. So the thing we don't know is the OR. Probability of thing A, so female. So we need a box that only represents female. That's the 275 over 595. Plus probability of thing B, and I'll bring the formula over here. Just so we have it. There's our formula. So we need plus the probability of thing B, which was doesn't eat breakfast regularly. Well, that the box that only doesn't eat breakfast regularly is the 295. So we'll have 295 out of 595. And then minus the and. So an and is where they crisscross. Doesn't eat breakfast regularly. And female crisscrosses at the 165. So we have 165 out of 595. So again, sometimes you'll have to rearrange to get the x by itself, but in this case, it already is by itself. So we can just punch in those fractions. And when we type that in, we get 81 out of 119. All right, so of the males. So that's kind of like saying given the person's a male. So we know they are a male, so we're going to focus on only that column. Then we'll find what is the probability of eating breakfast. So focusing only on the males, eating breakfast is 190 out of 320. Okay, so your job now, based on what we reviewed here, is to do questions 3 and 7 in the sections from page 5 to 8. Okay, you can do those right on a separate sheet of paper, and upload your work to Schoology.